Stakes. Over 2,000 metres, and we're about to have a look at the runners in the yard with Ron Duversey and Lizzie Jelfs. This mounting yard brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence. If you need advice, they are there to help. Well, here's the Japanese. Number 1, Danon Premium. James McDonald rides for Mitsumasa Nakushita.
Wow, who's a pretty boy. He is the highest rated horse in this race. He's got good gate speed. He positions on speed. Obviously, the gamblers, this track has stayed heavy, and the bookies want to lay him. He's getting out, $5.50 or so now. Oh, boy, he's an eye catcher. He's taped up all 4 legs there, Lizzie. What do you think of him?
Oh, he's amazing. He is. I know there's big spooks around him, and for obvious reasons. He's only been beaten once at the 2,000 metres, and that was by Almond Eye. So he's obviously got very, very good credentials for this race, but he's also got the right look for it as well. He's absolutely immaculately turned out. He's got a beautiful coat on him. It's very silky and healthy, and he's really settled. A lot of the horses that come from overseas can sometimes get a bit up and about, and they can generally not be relaxed and settled, but he's an ultimate professional, and I'm very, very impressed, and can't wait to see how he performs.
From the Newmarket yard of William Haggis, number 2, Adib, Tom Marquand.
Yeah, he's another laid-back customer. I'm surprised because this wind has really gone to a second level now. It's really blowing, but he showed great fight, winning the Randwick with improvement to come. Sting out of the ground. They've got their prayers have been answered here as we're working with a heavy track. Form's been franked at a last run. Lot to like about him.
Yeah, as every jockey has said, even all the winning jockeys that we've spoken to have said, it's a very much a testing track today, so it's going to suit him, and he's certainly going to be at home on this type of surface. He's taken improvement from that last start performance. His coat's improved. He's tightened up nicely. He has to be right in the finish.
Well, he got rid of Winks, and now he's looking around and he's seeing the Japanese, the English, the Kiwis. Number 3, Happy Clapper, lining up for his 5th run in a Queen Elizabeth and his 28th start here at his home track at Randwick. Pat Webster, the trainer, Sam Clipperton, the rider.
Yeah, I'm feeling for Pat. First time he hasn't saddled him up. He'll be sitting back there on the farm with his sketches on, watching his horse, and he won't let him down the Clapper. He's going to go forward today. Obviously a world-class field, but he's in superb shape.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. He is in superb shape, and he has been throughout this preparation. He's probably not fighting at the same level that he has been in previous preps, but he's still doing a marvellous job. He's turned out in excellent order. He's a credit to Ainsley and Pat, and I'd have to say that he's one of those horses that you'll certainly be willing him to win.
Here's Tiak Our Shark, number 4, Opie Bosson for Jamie Richards.
Yeah, look, he's had a little small stone bruise, which the vets ticked off pretty quickly when they had a look at him since his last run. Geez, he was enormous in the rider. The rider's been a great form reference for this race, considering the way the race was run and how wide he was caught. You go back to where he rounded up very elegant, and he was terrific in New Zealand. He was great in the Cox Plate in the spring. He's a top horse.
Absolutely. He circled them and just reeled them in fantastic fashion, and you could see him doing that again today. As far as his condition and look is concerned, he's pretty much maintained that look. His coat's just slightly started to turn around his belly area, so he's probably at the end of his preparation, but he's certainly had this race mapped out the entire time. He's spot on today, and there's nothing wrong with his action, the way he walks around.
The Melbourne Cup winner, Vow and Declare, Glenn Bosch, Danny O'Brien.
Yeah, he was great first up in the Australian Cup. He's sure to run a great race. He's not just your regimental stayer. He's got a bit of quality about him.
Yeah, he has got a lot of quality about him. He's got a lot of condition on him, just a lot of muscle definition, and the fact that he's carrying a lot of weight all over would suggest that he's a horse that's obviously really thriving at the moment. I haven't seen him before, so this is my first look at him, and he's a really lovely looking type. He's very scopy. He's got a great walk on him. He's been alert and switched on the entire time he's walking around here, and he's certainly not here to make up the numbers.
The Epsom and Golden Eagle winner, number 6, Colding, Glyn Schofield, Chris Waller.
He was much better, not getting much room when back to Randwick last time in the Doncaster last week. Look, backing up to 2,000 metres now, I'm not 100% sure, but he did show some return to form last week.
Well, this horse was the best horse in Australia until his autumn campaign. Through the spring, he was performing above and beyond, and he certainly doesn't look as though he has gone backwards in any shape of the imagination. He still looks great. That coat's very healthy still. He walks out cleanly. He's very genuine, and he's lovely and focused. So he's obviously really, really big odds due to his failure through Melbourne, but with his improved performance last start and the way he looks today, I think he's a horse that you could put into your first fours.
Galo shop, Adam Hieronymus, Matthew Williams.
Been a great old horse, but hard to tip here. He could find the front if he wanted it.
It looks very well, but as Ronnie said, he's probably hard to tip on form.
Kingswell Dream, Josh Parr, Chris Waller.
Big time performer. He caught the eye last week, place chance.
He is a big time performer. He did perform very well, and I thought he would take some improvement from that run as well. So he's tip top today, and another horse who could run quite nicely.
Imaging, Brenton Avdulla, Chris Waller.
Yeah, probably backfired going forward in a fast race last week. There's been no indication of change of tactics going back, so he might stride forward and put a bit of speed into this race as well.
I'd never noticed this before, but he's been actually calling out the entire time he's been walking around here. He's started to sort of settle down now and get his mind back on the job since Brenton jumped aboard him, but he's certainly a horse that doesn't necessarily have his mind on the job the way he's been walking around. So, I'd have to say that I'd need him to improve to put him in my numbers.
3 to go before they get down the tunnel. Master of Wine, number 10, Tim Clark for Team Hawks.
How good is he? How good is he? Well, he's the new kid on the block. He's won his past 4 in fantastic style. Huge step up. I'm not going to say no.
I'm not going to say no. He looks excellent, and he is... Each run I've seen him, he's gradually got fitter, built up more muscle definition, and became more of a horse or more of a bull than he has done anything else. So look out for him. He's definitely one of the horses that I think can win.
Very elegant, Ruilla and Waller.
Bonnie mare with a 2,400 metre lead up, very competitive with a day. Look, Soft brings her right into play here.
Looks perfect.
And Melody Bell, another Kiwi, Jamie Richards, Karen McAvoy.
Should have won the Doncaster last week after having a torrid run. More depth here, but far too good to dismiss, having won 10 Group 1s.
She looks in magnificent shape. She's backed up beautifully.
Well, Michael Hawks, Master of Wine, he faces his acid test today.
Yeah, he does, Greg. He's done everything right up until this point. Hasn't put a foot wrong, and all but he's drawn probably that touch awkward, bit of a sticky barrier, but at least Tim knows him, and hopefully he can get the best out of him.
And all the way along, this is the race you've had in mind, giving him a light autumn, but concentrating on a grand final like this?
Yeah, it was. Obviously, his last start he won very, very well, and we were tempted, obviously, to run him or back him up in the Randwick. We didn't. We decided not to, and then obviously the Tancred was there as well, but this race has always been on the cards. We always said at the start of the prep after he won at Rose Hill that it was always going to be a light preparation, and it's only his 3rd run in this time, but it's all class, and he definitely takes his next rise today, and it's that wait for age tick that we're trying to tick off.
And he loves Randwick.
Yeah, he does. He loves Randwick. Timmy's been on him before. He knows what he's all about, and he's paraded very good, actually. I'm really happy with the way he's paraded, and he's walked around as quiet as, and he looks great.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's find out what Lizzie made her pick of the yard.
Well, Greg, this is an absolutely mouth-watering contest when you have a look at all of these horses. They are quality, quality, quality. I am with the top weight, Danon Premium. He looks in absolutely magnificent shape. This is the first time I've seen him, but he has certainly turned out in his best possible condition. Great coat on him. He was really focused the way he walked around the yard, and he just looks like a proper racehorse. He has to go on top. Adeb has taken improvements, so do what you want with him. Put him into your numbers, put him on top. He's certainly heading in the right direction. Of the others, Master of Wine, as Michael was just saying, he looks fantastic and has paraded in great order. And if you like a horse at double figure odds, I think Colding can bounce back and run very, very well today.
I'm with the internationals as well. 1, 2, 4 and 12. Oh, geez, you can't go past him. He's class, he's quality. The wet track is a concern. That's probably why you're getting a little bit of a bit better price than you expected earlier in the week. But that's the gamble, whether he gets a grip in this going. But everything about him is all quality. Dave, he gets his wish with a heavy track. They should get off the fence. He should get a clear run to do his thing here and tough it out. Tiakau Shark's a star, and not ruling him out, and very elegant. Well, she'll be tough because she's got a 2,400 Group 1 lead up, win coming into this race, form around a Dabe. And I hate to leave Master of Wine out. I've been on his back the whole way through end of last prep and this prep, but no surprise to see him shape right up. He's another one. We don't underestimate how good he is on wet tracks. 1, 2, 4 and 12. Glenn?
Well, as you could imagine, a mammoth betting race here. The favourite is a Deeb. Well, out from this morning, he got out to as much as $4.40. He's just $4.20 at the moment. Down on premium, there was a race to get him out. He got out $3.60 out to $5. Weight of money has brought him back into $4.60 here. He holds 50% more than any other runner in this race, and we're not far off holding 7 figures today. Then we've got Very Elegant, who's very, very firm on the next line of betting. 6 into 5 right throughout the day. Tiako Shark's been firm as well. $7.50. His best is now 6. You look at Melody Bell. Well, her best today has been $11. She's now $8.50. Master of Wine has got single figures out to 11. Vow and Declare got to as much as 21. He's now 17. Can Bossy do 3 in a row here? Colding at 31. The Clappers at 71. So is Kingswood Dream, and the Roughies at Galo Shop and Imaging 151 a pair. But a Deeb will run favourite here for the Longines Queen Elizabeth. But down on premium, we may not have seen him, Greg, but I tell you what, hasn't stopped punters wanting to be on him.
12 months ago we stood here on this day. 43,500 people watched the farewell of Winx. Today the grandstands are empty. We welcome in countries from all over the world. 60 countries taking in this broadcast. All over Europe, the USA, Hong Kong and Japan get set for the race of the carnival, the Queen Elizabeth, sponsored by Longines.
This time last year, there were hundreds outside the fence because they couldn't get a seat inside. And this is the only possible viewing spot, with the exercises stopping for a brief rest to watch the start here of the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Stand by for a start. The gates are back now and they're off and racing, and a Dave jumped okay. Dannon Premium was quickly out. The Galo Shop showing great muster. Caught pretty deep, Galo Shop, but Hieronymus is eyeing off the lead and he's going to get there quite comfortably. Colding handy, so's a Dave on the fence, and Vow and Declare under a prominent position in the early stages, and Dannon Premium parks right behind in 5th. A length further back to Very Elegant is a few slots closer today, and she's railing through underneath the Japanese Stallion. Further back to Melody Bell, then Tiako Shark is going through on the fence. Master of Wine looks to be 3 deep. Happy Clapper gets back from Imaging, and Kingswood Dream last at least a dozen lengths off the lead. So it's the 9-year-old Galo Shop in front, out by 4 lengths to the Melbourne Cup winner Vow and Declare. The favourite of Dave in 3rd position, 3/4 the outside to Colding. Further back to Very Elegant is a touch keen on the inside of Dannon Premium, but she's still travelling well here. Very Elegant as this leader continues to roll up front. Master of Wine's out deep, followed by Tiako Shark, Melody Bell between them. Well back in the field then is Happy Clapper and Kingswood Dream and Imaging of the last pair. Down the side in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and Galo Shop certainly making it a staying contest of the 800 metres. 3 lengths clear from Vow and Declare, and then a Dave on the inside. Marquand hasn't felt for it as yet. 2 further back to Colding, then Very Elegant. Dannon Premium is just starting to be felt for now at the 600 metres, waiting to get to the outside. Going between runners, Tiako Shark, Melody Bell is slicing through. Master of Wine's getting onto the back of the Japanese horse as they turn, and a Dave makes the move now at the 400 metres, and a Dave draws clear, but here's Dannon Premium. Wow, look at him come into it, Dannon Premium. He moves up now to a Dave. This is what we've been waiting for. A Dave the inside of Dannon Premium. Very Elegant goes to 3rd, but a Dave's full of running at the 100 metres. In fact, he's ripping clear now, and a big win for a Dave in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Very Elegant got through for 2nd in front of Dannon Premium. Great go for 4th, Master of Wine, Tiako Shark and Melody Bell between them. A good gap back then to Vow and Declare from Happy Clapper, then Colding, Imaging, Galo Shop and Kingswood Dream.
Adeeb has won a race and a half. Number 2, Adeeb, ridden by Tom Marquand, trained at Newmarket in England by William Haggis. He's travelling foreman Harry Eustace has been with Adeeb on this journey here in Australia, and he has run away to score a most famous victory in the Longines Queen Elizabeth. A slap down the shoulder from Tommy Marquand. Very Elegant has got into second spot, going past the Japanese galloper Danone Premium. Master of Wine, 3 deep the trip, was so brave, and he gets fourth. We'll remember this race for a long, long time, Duff.
Oh, how dominant was he? He just loved the conditions. He found his pacemaker in Galo Chop to make it a tough test, and that's what he thrived on, this horse. He's thrived since he's been here. Good on you, Tom. He's done everything right. He rode him beautifully. The Japanese loomed on the turn there, and I thought, whoa, he's going to pick up, but he's just wheels spun in the going there late, and she was very, very good, Very Elegant, holding her form. But he's in a league of his own, this horse. He's in the zone, Adabe, and a real top-class performance.
Yes, and why would you even contemplate going home? Why wouldn't you stay here and give us some more of Adabe here in this country? Well, Harry Eustace, congratulations for all the work that you've done. You've been here for some weeks and all the plans have come off.
Thank you very much. It's some thrill, and it's, as you say, it's a lot of time and effort that goes into a win like this from everyone back home, and Safid, who rides him every day, and Tom's given him absolute peach, and it's fantastic.
How would William Haggis be feeling right now, your boss, watching it right at this very moment back in the UK?
I hope as excited as I am, but no, he'll be jumping around, certainly not his bedroom, probably the office, I'd have thought.
And a plan that was a long time in the making. He's had the championships in the back of his mind, and one year he would get here. He bought the right horse.
Yeah, since June last year, he thought he was the right horse, and at getting a bit of soft ground, he'd come down here for the championships, and to pull it off is fantastic.
You wanted more rain. You didn't need it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, if we'd had more rain, he'd have won by further, I'd say so.
Did you expect a performance like that today? That was so dominant.
I have to say, not that far. It was such a deep field, and I thought it would be a real nail-biter to the finish, but when he kicked clear turning in, like he wasn't going to, he ran all the way to the line in the Randwick, and he was going to do the same here today. So it was an easy watch the last 50, but we had a bit of a shout before then.
For all you've been through in the UK, is this your greatest moment as part of a stable and a win?
Yeah, the biggest win I've been involved with, probably, yeah, definitely.
You should be very proud of yourself. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thanks.
And here is Tommy. Tommy Terrific, Aussie Tom. Call him what you want, but at the moment he sits high atop a group of jockeys. He's had a wonderful, wonderful stint here in Australia. It will come to an end one day, but Lizzie, while it's going, he can reap all the rewards.
Absolutely, Greg. You couldn't have said it better myself. He is a terrific guy, and he's also someone who we've really grown fond of over this time. Not just because you've been riding plenty of winners, but you're also a joy to be around. But Tom, just put it into words what that victory means to you.
Honestly, I thought I had my dream day a few weeks ago. Coming into today, I was kind of thinking he'd probably be the vulnerable one, and Young Rascal would be the one that might be the one to get me out of jail. But I mean, what a tough, straightforward, genuine horse. Like, he just switches off, knows when to turn it on, and he just drops his head and runs for you, and you don't even have to ask him. So an honour to ride a horse like that, and for William Haggis and Sheikh Ahmed to keep me on him is just, it's pretty mind-blowing.
Talk us through the run. He's always nicely away, he puts himself in the race, but what was the confidence and the feeling throughout?
I mean, he's a horse that just, like, he goes through wet ground as if it's not even there, and I guess that's just one of his main attributes and shows how tough he is, because he just doesn't care. Like, he just runs straight over the top of it, and today, travelling around, there was never a moment where I thought I'm not going to pick up. I guess it was just in the hands of how much the Japanese horse found and everyone else, but yeah, he was by far superior there.
We know Australia has a special place in your heart, but this victory for all of the UK, for all the racing fraternity back home, to see you performing on the world stage, and also to see Harry as well, and also William, it must be very special, and they must be, taking it as a bit of a comfort at this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people underestimate how much this means to me. Obviously I'm very young and hopefully quite a long time ahead of me in the saddle, but I mean, to come down here, win a QE2 on an English horse for someone who's given me a lot of support at a time that's been tough for English racing, it could not mean more.
And just lastly, we don't want you to go home. Are you going home? Are you staying? Is there a chance that you can stay on? And even we'd love to see Adeeb stay on as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think my plan is to go home next Saturday after the last day of the championships, just because obviously it's getting harder and harder to get home, and having ridden out the championships, I think I've probably had my fair share of luck for this year so far. But yeah, I'm going to go home. I'm honestly not sure of the sort of concrete plans with either of these horses, but I think before he just dominated them, he was going to head home, but who knows now.
Well, you know that you will always be welcome back here. Congratulations, Tom.
Thanks.
Well done to Tommy Marquand, well done to Harry Eustace, and to you, Sir William Haggis, thank you very much for sending this wonderful horse down here to Australia for us to enjoy. Congratulations, Adeeb, on winning the Longines Queen Elizabeth Stakes.